In this lesson, we're going to be talking about using proxies. A proxy server is where the web browser will actually send the request for web pages to a proxy server. The proxy server will make the request to the actual server on behalf of the client and then send the messages back. There's a number of different reasons to use proxy servers. Sometimes it's just to conserve internet bandwidth because the proxy server will cache the responses if it's possible, and the next request to that particular website will generate the cached response being sent back to the client rather than going back out to the internet. So what the proxy server will do will be just a quick probe to see whether anything's changed. And if nothing has changed, the content will be sent back from the cache rather than doing another request to the internet and the network, and as a result, you'll get some bandwidth savings. Another reason for using a proxy server is you may want to do some blocking of sites, and if you force all of your users to go through a proxy server, that proxy server can protect against users going to malicious sites, or in the case of enterprises, sites that may be not particularly constructive or conducive to them getting their work done. So we can block access to different websites using proxy servers. We can also use a proxy server to insert an antivirus solution in the middle of the web communication stream. Since websites are becoming more and more vectors for virus activities or just different types of malware, we may want to use an antivirus solution in the middle of our web stream, and so we can do that at a proxy server. The proxy server would check incoming traffic and see whether there's malicious software or malicious data there as well. So I'm going to show you the use of a proxy server for a different purpose. I need to configure Firefox to use the proxy server. So you can see here I've got my proxy settings. I'm going to use one on my local system. It's at port 8080, and I'm going to use that for everything. So I've got my proxy server all set up in my web browser. And this happens to be my proxy server, and you can see Firefox is already sending traffic through the proxy server. Another good reason for using a proxy server, and we will certainly get into this later on, is maybe I want to intercept requests and do some manipulation of them. So I've done my browsing to Infinite Skills, and you can see under sites here, there's the site Infinite Skills, and here's all of the pages that were requested. If I click on one of them, I can see the request and the response. If I needed to do some debugging, I could use a proxy server and actually grab everything that was going on and see what's happening between the client and the server. I can also do some banner grabbing here. This is kind of a heavyweight solution for banner grabbing, but certainly you can see the server line right there in the response, and it's got information about the web server that's being used as well as the operating system and some different modules that are used on Apache. So I can see all of the different requests that are going on. Also with a proxy server, as I noted before, you can see different things that are going on under the hood. Even though the only website I actually went to is infiniteskills.com, Google Analytics was also hit, which probably came from Infinite Skills. The other website here that you can see is safebrowsingcache.google.com, and that's something that Firefox does without you knowing. It goes out and checks this safebrowsingcache.google.com. Depending on the different types of plugins you may have installed in your browser, there may be a lot of web activity going on without you being aware of it, and Firefox or Chrome, or in some cases Safari, maybe Internet Explorer, will be sending lots of requests out to different servers Firefox is one of the biggest ones that does this type of activity without you realizing. So if you were to install a proxy server like this Z attack proxy from OWASP, then you could see everything that's going on without you being aware of it. So this gives you some measure of information about what's going on. There are a number of different types of proxy servers that are available. You'll see blue coat proxies, and a popular one on Linux, which is open source, is Squid. And Squid is just a regular HTTP proxy that will do caching, and you can also get different plugins for content filtering. So that's how you would use a proxy and the different things that you would use a proxy for.